chief was at the meeting and he stated there were no sort of life safety issues with that building. And I know I pushed a little bit on, code from the 1920s to the 2019. Can you speak to any of that what you see as potential life safety issues there, or that why he wouldn't pick them up and why you picked them up as sort of looking to do a renovation or an architect by Jeremiah?
Yeah, so I think that's a good question. The doors, there are some doors that could be closed, but they're not fire rated solution. And there's the fire chief also, a lot of times they're looking at existing buildings under existing building code and how you're, you don't come into the, the state house and that was built in the 1800s or whatever and tell them you got to bring everything up to current code right now. What Jeremiah is looking at is the current code. And if we renovate this building, we have to bring things up to the current code in many applications. And I think the other thing is that the inspector may not have been aware of, there are some doors in the corridors, but they're not fire rated. And so, he's not going to necessarily pick up.
They're glazing in the walls, they're supposed to protect the stairs. It's not. So, I'd like to have a moment to digest his report and have a conversation with him of any questions that I have to clarify, what we may or may not have to do as part of this project.
Yeah, so we'll follow up on that. I was taken aback by that, but I wasn't there with his walkthrough, and it has been, that stair issue has been picked up by each version of an architect that's looked at this project.
I'm sorry, can I ask a general question? So if in these kind of circumstances, if what you guys have identified as needing to be addressed to bring things up to code as the renovation goes through, when that's not aligned with what, like in this case, fire chief said, what's the process that you typically follow to reconcile and land in an appropriate place?
Gary, what's interesting is usually we're on the other side of the fence. So usually it's inspectors making you do something that your team feels is too costly and you're trying to push back a little bit. This is the other way where we're recommending something that wasn't necessarily picked up, or maybe there's a difference of opinion on the code, which happens all the time. At the end of the day, Banwell is responsible to stamp these drawings with their architectural stamp. They have to certify that the project we build is up to code under this controlled construction. The other thing is, if we're wrong and it doesn't have to, there's another way, we'll meet with the inspector and maybe he's looking at it in a different way and maybe there's another way. So we're open to that, but I think if anything, the budget we have is conservative and maybe we can find some savings if there's a way, another way to look at it.
Right, which would be, I just want to interject just for a second. That's always part of this process is meeting with the local officials, which hasn't happened yet. We do that on every project. We go down, before they're completed and review the plans with them, just so that we're all on the same page. And at that point, we won't catch every little thing either. It's a part of the process, and identifying all these.
Also, Mike and Jeremiah, can you keep us in the loop of what you find out from that inspection report to what the deficiencies were?
Yeah, we'll circle back by that January school board meeting. Before that, give you a rundown, and to me, there's either two conclusions. Either the fire department will understand where we're coming from, or we'll understand where they're coming from, and it'll reduce the project cost.